we have to get to a point. Welcome to the weekly meeting, 5/3/2025. Um, we have to get to a point in our trading where we build confidence in what we're doing. All of us know how to win a trade, but all of us do not know how to put together a system that allows us to take our account from point A to point B. And I think it's very important to recognize that. Um, I don't know if Aiden is on this call. Aiden is a young dude, like 18 years old. I met Aiden because he was washing my brother's car one day. But that son of a gun knows how to trade in a very short time period. And, a lot of times that rubs people the wrong way. It's like, God, dog, how does that little young, dude understand that? Young people, their minds are fresh. So maybe they don't have some of the hangups and some of the love of money and some of the scars and wounds that we as full grown adults who've experienced life and gotten burned a couple of times have. Uh, but my point is, Aiden, in a very short time period, is hitting me up, calling out trades. And I'm like, God, dog, he sees it. The only thing that he has to do now is bring his risk to reward in and don't over leverage. Aiden is going to be rich, like filthy rich, by the time he's 22 years old. 4 years of trade, he's going to be filthy rich. And it's just because he took counsel from an old black dude that he met while he was washing my brother's car. And it's funny how that sort of thing works. I don't know many of you. Many of us have never met face to face, but y'all are my closest friends, in life, besides my girlfriend, obviously. But y'all are the people that I've spent the most time with. I quit my whole life 5 years ago. Y'all don't understand. I quit my life, my job. I quit life. I quit messing with girls. I quit going to Vegas. I quit my life 5 years ago to learn how to trade. And it was the best decision that I've ever made. Not because I don't worry about money, but because to me, helping people see this and do this brings me more joy than any job, that I've ever had prior. And I never have to ask for vacation. I never have to ask for a raise or none of that. It's just a matter of me doing my homework. It takes me 5 minutes to look at a chart and understand where my money is going to come from, uh, the coming week. So, I know I kind of went off on a rant, but I gave you a blueprint that will that you can find 100 pip trade every week and you can benefit from that. Some of you might not want to trade $1 per pip. Maybe you want to trade 50 cents per pip or 25 cents per pip, whatever your situation is. I don't know. I'm just showing you what worked for me and how I go from point A to point B. You adjust that for your risk tolerance, but you're still going to grow your account. Um, you know, uh, I'm always going to have uh, love for people who actually take it and run with it, right? Um, I have love for a Kai, I have love for a Leandra. And these people don't have to be perfect traders, but they have a great understanding of the concept. Life is going to mold you eventually, right? Uh, you know, I've been married a couple of times, and I cheated a couple of times. Um, it's or I should say, I've been in relationships a few times in life, and I've cheated a few times. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're 60, it doesn't matter if you're 20. Um, Life and relationships, they're going to teach you what to do. If you're a cheater or you're a serial cheater, you're probably going to go through a couple of different relationships. If you're a serial um, faithful person, then if you go through relationships, it's going to be because you choose bad partners. So trading, just like life, is going to teach you is going to discipline you. And some of us have thicker skulls or thicker behinds than others, and we got to get beat more often. Back in my day coming up, you get beatings, so maybe you did the wrong thing and you got a whooping and you didn't learn the first time. So you got a whooping as many times as you needed to get a whooping until you figured it out. Trading is the same way. You can over leverage 1,000 times. And if you lose 1,000 times, eventually the 1,001st time, you're going to say, you know what? I'm not over leveraged. I'm just going to take whatever the market gives me. Now I'll be back tomorrow, or I'll be back the next week, or whatever. That's where we as traders are going to find our success. It doesn't matter what system we trade. It doesn't matter if we trade smart money. It doesn't matter if we trade supply and demand. It doesn't matter if we trade support and resistance. We'll find our success right there before we get to over leveraging, right? As long as we leverage properly, we protect our account, we're going to find success. My success might bring me 100% every week. Your success might bring you 35% every week. I guarantee you, 1 year down the road, we'll both be rich. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter, because nobody is paying anybody 30% in a month or 30%, in their trades. So just trust whatever your process is. Condition yourself to trade however you trade. If you're a part of my 100 pip and flip group, I'm showing you how we flip our accounts, right? For the most part, we're able to do it every week successfully. There are some weeks where the market doesn't give us a move, or it doesn't finish the move in that week and it carries over. That's fine. The goal is, hey, let's take our account from point A to point B, right? If I can start this week with $100 and at some point next week have $200, I'm happy, right? Sometimes it might take 8 days instead of 5 days. I'm still happy. The point is, I never got that treatment in the Army, and I never got that treatment when I worked for the railroad. Nobody ever doubled my money. and the sad thing about it is, y'all know Bernie Madoff, right? Did we talk about Bernie Madoff? Oh, what's up, Tabia? My sister's on here. Tabia, what's up?
Yeah, we know Bernie.
Yeah, so
I
if
don't
y'all,
know who that is.
well, Bernie Madoff is a guy who fleeced people. He told people, hey man, let me invest your money. And I think he was promising like 15% return. And he would just basically, it was a Ponzi scheme. He'd take people's money and he would pay them with other people's money. But if y'all, I mean, I know y'all have been in this group and you see for yourself, you've seen for yourself that you can make 100% every week, pretty much, at least 3 weeks out of the month, right? If I'm lying, say something, please, because this is going to be recorded on YouTube somewhere. So that it's not only possible, but 3 out of 4 weeks is 75%. It's highly probable. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is not something that's an impossibility. But if you get on any podcast or you listen to any American show or any news or whatever, everybody tells you that this is gambling. How, Sway? Like, y'all understand that? Isn't that crazy? Like, for those of us who trade, do any of y'all feel like y'all are gambling?
No.
Are you gambling?
Nope.
Seriously, if anybody in this group feels like they're gambling, please say something. Please.
It doesn't feel like it's not gambling, but when you tell people, they see it as gambling. You know what I mean?
No, I don't mean
Like,
what people who don't understand how to read a chart says.
okay.
That's totally different. To them, it is gambling because they don't know how. It's just like if you read a book, if you read a cookbook and the cookbook says, hey, add a quarter a teaspoon of salt and a quarter a teaspoon of sugar, and you're putting it together, you're not hoping that meal comes out properly. You read the recipe and you prepared the meal, and you expect that meal to taste good, right? I guess that's a bad example because some of y'all probably still can't cook with a cookbook. But, but y'all know what I'm saying. If you have directions and you follow the directions, you're expecting a result, correct?
Yep.
It's the same with a chart. Whenever I read a chart and the chart tells me that price is going lower, that's the result that I expect. Now, if it does not happen, then I have a hedge. And I can go back the other way or go back and reread the book. But my whole thing, my rant here is because we've all been lied to consistently by everyone in our lives for as long as we've been alive. We've been lied to by our parents. We've been lied to by our teachers. We've been lied to by our government. Everybody, why are they willingly telling us lies? Why am I a 51-year-old black man? How come I know how to do this or I know about this and I'm a DeVry educated black man? What the heck is going on? Like, how is this possible? Elfie, you went to school in America. How come they're not teaching us how to thrive? Wouldn't we all be better citizens? Wouldn't we all live better lives? Wouldn't this be a better place if we all just knew how to provide for ourselves and our families?
But the system needs worker bees.
Yeah, and poverty and lower class people.
Yeah,
They
poverty
don't
is
want.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm not even going to combat those arguments, but I know better. It's just it's mind-boggling. So I say all that, and I want to get off this rant and get to the charts. But I say all that because I've even heard it from traders. I've heard the lies on Words of Wisdom. I've heard the lies on Calvin's podcast. I've heard people telling you, hey man, trading is something you can't do solely. You have to do other things. You can't just trade for a living. Lie. Oh man, you can't double your account every week. Lie. No, you can't do it. You can do whatever you condition yourself to do. The market moves every day. Every day the market moves. If you're a disciplined trader and you have a trading plan, you can do whatever that trading plan allows you to do. So don't let anybody lie to you and tell you something different, because it's an outright lie. And those of you who are in that 100 pip flip group, you know for sure that it's a lie. You see the move every week. Now, you might not be good enough to take advantage of it, but over time, you're going to get better and better and better. This is not your best. Right now, you're still new in the process. 2 years from now, bruh, y'all be deadly and dangerous 2 years from now. And that's the goal. All right. So hopefully, Will, that kind of answered your question in a ugly roundabout way. I just think it's important to tell the truth, and tell people this is possible, right? It's possible. You can do, if you see it on the chart, you can do it. And you just have to protect your account. If you're going to risk, 100% or whatever, you're going to risk $1 per pip. You want to have a hedge set up. Maybe you want to set your hedge at 25 or 30 pips, right? It just depends on how you see the charts and how comfortable you are with getting in and out of your hedges. And obviously, it just repetition makes us better. Same with reading, same with school or whatever else, our jobs, repetition, we get better and better. All right. Any other questions?
No,
right.
sir.
All righty. Okay, so let's talk about the we're at the end of the month. And to me, this is this is the best. Like right now, we we sharpening up our knives, man. Everybody just got their welfare check or whatever, and we sharpening up our knives because we know it's time to eat. It just so happens that we closed the 2-month candle. This particular candle doesn't jive with what I want to show you, so I'm just going to move on. Okay, so let's talk about USD Mexican, because this candle is a pretty good size candle that we can trade back up. The market is still moving down, right? I anticipate we're taking out this low, right? Once we take out this low, price will turn around and buy back up. At that point, once the low is taken out, all you're waiting on is for the move back up. Now, that could be a 4-hour bullish order block. That could be an 8-hour, 12-hour daily bullish order block. All of those are the right answer. It just depends on you as a trader, how fast you want to get in. You want to get in catbird, you want to use a lower time frame bullish order block. But you have to understand that the catbird seat is going to put more risk into your trading. The more sure way to do it is once you break this low and you wait for a daily bullish order block, right? And you take that trade after the daily bullish order block. Everybody tracking?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so if we go and we look, we see that this low got taken out. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
So to me, as a trader, if I see, hey man, this low got taken out and this is a green candle, maybe I got a bullish OB. Maybe I got that bullish OB with that tap in. Bruh, this trade is paying big dollars. This is not a question of if you're going to get paid. This is a question of when. How long is it going to take for your paycheck to arrive? And to me, that part is immaterial. If you was working at Walmart, you waiting 2 weeks. This trade right here is probably not going to take 2 weeks. We know that the dollar going up this week. We just don't know how aggressive it's going up. But we know we're going to get 100 pips. Bruh, this trade is offering you 356 to the golden zone. If it goes up to the 62, we talking over 400 pips. Book it. It's going to happen. You see what I'm saying? Like, these to me are the setups that are for the intelligent people or the traders who you are patient. You waited for the low to get ran, right? I'm not saying you couldn't make money last week, but in this scenario, this chop back and forth. But if you had just held on to what you got, you see that bullish daily order block? We got the tap in, bruh. This is running tomorrow, bruh. Like tomorrow. That tomorrow we buying. It's a great trade setup, and it's based on the highest candle that was closed. This is the 2-month candle. There is no higher candle that closed. This candle closed 3 days ago. It's May 3rd. So we know that we got to get this push up. And it's coming the first week of May. I think most of us understand that the dollar is going up. And if you don't understand that, then hey, it is what it is. But to me, it's a safer and a more solid trade setup because it ran those lows, right? All right, this trade has not ran the high. I'm not saying that it's not going to sell because it will, but it's just not as solid of a setup. On the lower time frames, I want to wait to see more from this candle than I do from that higher time frame candle. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So maybe on this time frame, maybe I'm dropping to the weekly and I'm looking to see if we ran liquidity from this weekly. I don't know. Let me see. The high of this is 0.60295. This is 0.59 or 0.6038. So we did not run this high. This candle didn't run this high. So I would like to see price go up and at least take out the high of this candle before it starts selling. But I want to see some sort of liquidity get ran before I put my money on that trade. Y'all tracking?
You said you wanted to see the high of the weekly candle taken out?
At least. So because on the 2-month, we didn't run this high, right? You see that? On the
Yeah.
2-month, this candle didn't run this high. I'm not saying it can't go run the high, but it hasn't ran it yet. So I'm not putting my money on here. You know, I'm not putting my $10,000 down on this trade and it hasn't ran liquidity yet. That's how you end up being part of the liquidity that gets ran. But if you look at this weekly, maybe price buys up and takes out last week's high and then starts to sell. That's liquidity being ran. So that gives me more confidence to take this trade. But again, I would prefer for my setups on the 2-month time frame to have ran. Y'all hear me?
We hear you now. You said ran it.
Okay. Yeah, I prefer my setups on the 2-month time frame to run liquidity first. Right? I want that. I would prefer to see that high get ran before I get into the trade. It makes the trade setup more solid for me. Y'all there?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, as I go through here, I don't see a lot of trades that have taken the liquidity from that 2-month time frame. I'm sorry, what would you say?
Nothing, my bad.
Okay, so from this time frame, only UC has ran the liquidity off on that time frame. This one is very close, but it hasn't.
Well, EJ did too, didn't it?
The EJ? I haven't really looked.
2 months.
Okay, yeah, EJ does look like it ran that high. I need to break down. Let me see. No, I don't like that. Okay, if EJ sold down, yeah, but I don't look at EJ as a sell at all. I think EJ is buying. Are you looking at EJ as a sell?
Because it took out these relative equal lows on the weekly, and I think it's going to pull back in order to continue buying.
Okay, but when you say pull back, are you saying pull back past this 2-day order block?
Yeah.
I don't have it pulling back past that 2-day. And I get it. I think EJ is going up to that zone up there. I think
Okay.
all the JPYs are going up.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else have EJ selling or any JPY selling?
I have EJ selling to a certain point.
Well, when you stop, okay. I'm not
Like
when
it's
I
a
say
short-term sell.
okay, but is it past 162.38?
Can you so
No. Oh, yes. It
You
can
haven't
be.
you haven't
No,
selling
no, my first one is 162.63. That's my TP.
and then buying up?
Well, that's just my TP on my sale, and then I see what it does. I have a bigger sale from higher that goes lower.
Well, obviously, but I think EJ is going to sell to that zone where that imbalance is.
Okay.
And then I think EJ is buying to 168. I don't have it going back down, like past that 2 months.
Yeah.
So I
How
don't.
many pips is that to go down to your black line right there?
How many pips is it? 88
100.
to the middle, 108 to the 60,
Okay.
65, and I don't know, 150 if it goes to the 78. I I don't know if it'll go to the 70. I think it'll go here 123 because that's where that break of structure is.
Mhm.
You know, to me, I wouldn't call that a break or a run of liquidity because if it's buying out, I need to see it run that low. Does that make sense?
Yes, I see that.
Hey Todd, I have a question on EJ.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I have it selling too, but I have it like I was thinking about it breaking past that high and then having it come down for the sell. How come you have it like once it gets to that imbalance, you have it going back up? Because I thought there was like I thought it would take I thought it would like break down through that I guess
Okay.
that's like a
I
golden.
hear you. So you don't see that 2-day bullish order block right there?
I see it now, yeah. I didn't look at the 2-day when I marked it up.
Okay. But okay, so let's talk about what about this 1 week chart?
Can you make it bigger a little bit, please?
You see that 1 week bullish order block
Yeah.
before last week?
Mm-hmm.
Then
Yes.
price tapped into that order block and bought up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me that price is still climbing. Now, if this week price like goes down and hangs out in that zone and then closes below the base of this candle, then I'll be open to saying it needs to sell. But everything that I see on this chart is bullish.
Can you go to the 8 hour?
Todd, the base of which candle?
The green candle, last week's green candle, this past week's green candle. You see it?
Well,
Yeah, I
not
see
with
it
your
now.
eight
Talking
things
to me,
right
Todd?
there. Not with your 8H there.
All right, hold up. Now you see the base, it's the golden zone.
Yeah.
So if we close below the base, like in that golden zone, then I would agree that we're going lower. I just don't see it happening like that.
Okay.
I see what you're saying too. When I zoom out and take a look at the bigger picture, I see where it's just steadily been on the upward trend.
Going up. So here's your 8 hour, Kenya. Go ahead
Yeah.
and tell me. So hey, LeVar, give me one of them new points before Kenya start talking.
I'm just saying you can catch your 100 pips to the
Down.
zone that you have marked up.
Wait, I don't disagree. Listen, I don't disagree with what you're saying. But
That's it.
well,
Next week.
yeah, but so you're going to trade tomorrow? You're going to sell it down tomorrow?
No, I had UC on my radar. That was like my front runner.
Oh, you got UC.
So I
Okay.
did have UC on my radar, but I've been looking at EJ for a few weeks. So I see this sell for 100 pips, and then I can leave it alone and see what it's gonna do. I do want to
agree.
buy up to
I
my
agree, but
entry.
I would just that's not going to be a Tuesday trade. I don't think. I think the Tuesday trade will be a long.
Yeah, I think I have to choose between this one and UC. So I'm market executing on UC on.
Yeah,
So
one of them is going with the trend, and the other one's going against the trend. Do the right thing.
one of them is going with the trend, and the other is going against the trend.
Mm-hmm.
A sale on EJ would clearly be against the trend. So
Clearly.
UC must be the trend.
Clearly.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
thought trend trades take longer.
I don't.
It doesn't matter.
I
Wait
don't
2 weeks to
necessarily
get
think they
paid and
take
it's
long.
fine. I got you.
Do you think this is selling?
UJ, I don't have UJ. I was buying UJ and it hasn't hit TP yet.
Yeah, I think UJ is buying as well. But it is what it is. There's a 6 hour. I think that UJ is going to the moon with the dollar here over the next couple of days at least. Okay, so I think when you're talking about we're looking for the liquidity, and I think if you scroll through these pair, you're going to be hard pressed to find a better liquidity grab setup than that UC trade, right? And I think if you get yourself in the habit of kind of looking for that, you'll probably give yourself the best opportunity to find the best setups when you're looking for your trades. And I'm not saying that you can't make money with these other setups, but you have to look for the setups that actually go and take liquidity. Here's another one that took liquidity. I'm just waiting for this bad boy to sell. But it did what it needed to do. It took the liquidity from the top. It's opposite of the dollar, so it should sell when the dollar buys. It just moves pretty slow. But slow is not a bad thing. It's just, if you have more experience, you probably prefer a little bit faster ride. Okay, so does anybody have any questions?
We want to read you, Jay.
We look at you, Chef.
And EC, please.
Oh, sweet goodness gracious. EC.
Thank you.
EC.
And you, Chef. UF.
And you, Jay.
What's up with EC? What you got? What you thinking?
On the higher time frame, I think on the no, higher
Than a week?
the monthly or the
Needs to
3 week.
sell.
I think actually going to still buy.
Okay, so on the 2
No, it
month,
needs to pull down. Yes, on the
on
2
the 2 month, there you got a bullish order block. So if you fit
Yes.
that candle, if it were me, I would be expecting the price to sell down to my zone. On the weekly, we got a bearish OB, right? So to me, this is basically setting up, is telling you, hey man, it's time to sell. Right? So I'm looking, if I'm looking at EC, I'm going to sell it down to that box. I know this is a sloppy chart, I don't know why it's so sloppy, but I would be looking to sell this trade down to this area.
I think you might have a 2-day order block, Todd. So you might can break it down.
There's your 2-day effort.
Okay.
We cooking with hot grease now, girl.
Oh, so now you like it too?
Hey, Elfie, send me that GLE 450. Straight
You
from
need to send
Berlin.
me one.
Straight from Berlin, Elfie.
You need to send me one.
Stop complaining. Just do it.
No, you send me one.
Oh, all right. Hey, how's the weather
Okay.
in Berlin? I saw this special in Berlin the other day, Elfie.
Hmm?
It's crazy.
It got cold again. It was nice.
How is it getting cold, man? It's just May. What are you talking about?
I'm saying it got cold again. It was nice for a few days, but now it's like
That's one bad thing about Europe, boy. Y'all have those mild summers. We like it hot over here. What's up, Will? What do you have for Yusha? Chef.
Go to the monthly or the 2 month. Let me look at it real. I don't see your screen yet.
You don't see my screen. Y'all can't see my screen?
We see
yeah, you see it.
What is Will talking about? You see it, Will?
I can see it now. We good. I can see it now. It just took a second. I got it buying up, man. Of course, like a lot of pips.
Well, I think it's a lot of pips too.
So I was wondering what do you like or not like about this trade?
Well, I like it. y'all know, I like I like any trade that's gonna pay. We was in this trade, I don't know, a week or two ago, and went sideways.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So, as long if it do me like that twice, I ain't messing with it no more. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, I believe in getting paid. So I don't want to trade to go sideways. And I get it, it consolidated. It's ready to move. The dollar is going to go up. So I like this trade. I like all the chef trades because they pay very well. I just needed to go ahead and get out of Dodge this time. I don't need to play around. But I like it. I think all the dollar is going up this week, in my opinion. Let me look at the Dixie.
What kind of liquidity
Huh?
will we be waiting for you, Chef? For you, Chef.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Wouldn't we what? Like, I see on the 2 month, it didn't, it's just look a little bit different. So we go down to a different time frame to look for the liquidity first.
Well, yeah, it's to me, this is the same as any of those other pair. It didn't take the liquidity from the 2 week or from the 2 month, but you can see where it took liquidity on this weekly. You see that?
Yeah.
Not only did it take liquidity, but it gave you the bullish order block. So I expected a tap in, but I expected it to take off. It just never took off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's going to buy this week. I don't care when the dollar's buying. The dollar's going to get stronger this week. Y'all saw just a minute ago, we looked at the Dixie. The Dixie is telling you that the dollar is going to buy. So all of us who want to get paid is going to buy that dollar. That's all I'm saying. This 4 hour, look at the 4 hour. Go long. You know what I'm saying? The 4 hour is Shedeur Sanders about to launch a bomb to Travis Hunter. Yeah, so basically, I dropped I don't know, 6 or 7. maybe I didn't drop 6. I dropped a few charts in our 100 pip flip. I think it's possible for all of us to get 100 pips from any of those pairs that I dropped in there. And if you pay attention to the time frame, and I think what we don't really hit on enough is if you look at that daily or 2 day order block, it's kind of giving you a cheat sheet to what's going on, right? So if you show up and you have a daily or a 2 day OB, then you already know that the market is pushing like early in the week, not necessarily later in the week. So what I like to do is in the pairs that I'm interested in trading, I want to go and look at them on the daily chart, right? Because when I look at this UCAD and I look at this daily order block and a punch in, I already know that UCAD is moving on Sunday, right? Like, I can't wait for Tuesday to buy USD CAD because everything has happened that needs to happen and it's just ready to buy. You see what I'm saying? Are y'all tracking or did I lose people?
Absolutely.
Yes, that's my
No, we
favorite
tracking
one.
for sure. We tracking for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So to me,
Yes.
I think this is probably one of the things that we don't talk about in this group enough. I think when I took y'all through this past couple of months or whatever, I try to get you to take your trade on a Tuesday, right? The reason I do is because the market has shaken the fake move out. There are times where we can take a trade on Monday or Sunday, but Tuesday is going to be your big joker trade. That is going to be your no nonsense market move day that you're going to have great success. It's easier to get faked out on a Sunday and Monday. That's why I try to steer y'all, to the Tuesday trade. Now, I'm not calling trades. I'm not calling entries. We can talk about trades. And if you need help, I'm always willing to help you. But what I'm going to try to do is start weaning the group off of me calling everything about, hey man, here's your entry. Your entry is coming up on this particular session, right? Because I think we're all kind of seeing the same thing at this point. If I'm mistaken, please say something. Do you guys feel comfortable with your entries?
Yes, feeling much better.
Do you guys see the setups the same way I see them? Or are you still kind of confused whenever I say, hey man, this trade is setting up?
I'm just getting used to
75%.
the liquidity grabs for like understanding that on the higher time frames. So I like when you hold our hand for the higher time frames and show us like to give reminders like, okay, look what it just did. And then it's like, okay, we can mark that and remember, okay, oh, that's what it did. That's right. Oh, that's what it didn't take it on a 2 month, but it took it on the weekly. Okay, cool. That's where we can look. I like that.
Okay, I don't have a problem with doing that. What's up, Leandra?
I was going to say that it goes down to time and price as well, because you're seeing the 2-day setup and you're seeing that price is already going in that direction. It's because we're looking at the higher time frame, which is the monthly and the 2 month, and that started last week. So May started last week Thursday, so you're going to see the setup this week appear more clearly, as opposed to April, when April started on a Tuesday, so we had to wait for the monthly setup to take liquidity and do what it needs to do to form the wick, accumulation, distribution, and all that kind of stuff. But it goes down to time and price. So when the month starts in the middle of a week, then you can expect the next week to see your setup more clearly. That's what I see when I look at when the month is starting, to say if the start of the month starts on Monday, Sunday, or Saturday. You know that on the Sunday, Monday, supposedly Tuesday, depending on what's happening in the fundamentals, there needs to be a liquidity grab before you can even get into a trend trade.
I agree.
But if it happens the prior week, where the month starts in the middle of a week, then you can expect liquidity to be taken that week. So yeah.
I agree. I think that's well said. Even if everybody doesn't understand what a liquidity grab is at this point, and that's why I kind of try to point out the things that I see. Multi-time frame analysis is probably always going to be a little bit more difficult for a newer person, or if you're newer looking at multi-time frame. But at some point, you kind of start putting it all together and you'll find things that work for you. I just think that it's important to, if you have success taking trades on Tuesdays, recognize that. Don't get caught up because I'm taking a trade on Sunday. Oh, I'm getting in because Todd is taking a trade on Sunday. No, stick to your guns, stick to what's lining your pockets with money, right? You trading $1 per pip. Kai, you don't trade $1 per pip anymore, right?
No, I just changed mine to like $30 a pip, something like that. I know what you're saying, $1 pip, but I don't do 30% anymore. I guess it's more like haven't done it, but I'm doing $30 a pip.
You're probably using 30 cents per pip. You're risking $30 per trade.
No. I was $30 per pip.
Oh yeah, so you're not doing okay, that's cool. Okay,
like 3 lots. I guess 3 lots.
Three lots. Okay, I'm tripping. All right, yeah. So and it's because you've grown your account so much, right? There's no no reason to risk going back down to $1,000 account now that your account is over.
You can get in lane one. Are you going to building?
Your account is large. Anyway, how long did it take you to grow your account, Kai?
One, two, three, four, five. I guess this will be the 6th week.
Okay, but you've been at a reduced risk for a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah. I lowered my risks when I got to 4,500.
Okay,
So.
but if you had took full risk from 4,500, you could possibly, I don't know, beat 30 or 40 grand.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But that's not necessary, right? And what I try to stress to people is if you have a 10K account, there's nothing, none of us are living 10K a week lifestyles or even if you're making $2,000 in a week and you got a $10,000 account, that's awesome money, especially when we ain't got to go to work for it. So this process works. All we have to do is stick to it for a few weeks. If you get caught in the hedge, it'll be all right. I'll help you get out the hedge and we'll go on to the next week. But if you just stick to the process, you commit to the process, everybody in the group is 6 weeks away from a $10, $15, $20,000 trading account. And that's, that's the gist of it, man. So if you have another trading style, that's cool if it works for you. If your trading style is not working for you, I have a trading style that works. You just have to commit to it. That's it. All right. Does anybody not like, do y'all not see a trade set up next week? Anybody not see any trades to set up? Is anybody struggling to find setups? I think I hear a lot of people saying that they know they want to trade a few of these setups. It does my heart good when y'all can see the setups, the same ones that I see. I think that's a start, because if you can see the setup, it's only a matter of time before you can trade it. All right. Hey guys, do y'all have any questions?